More on the governor's announcement. Let's bring in ABC News senior investigative reporter Aaron Katersky, former homicide prosecutor Bernarda Villalona, and also retired NYPD chief of detectives Robert Boyce. Aaron, let's start with you. Governor Hochul promising stronger gun laws, adding a number of details there. Also talking about investigations into social media platforms that promote hate speech. I'll let you decide where you want to begin.
Why don't we start with social media, Kira, because the governor is clearly upset that some of the incendiary white supremacist rhetoric that she said allowed the suspected shooter to go down this path that led to Saturday's massacre should be investigated. And specifically, we've obtained a letter that the governor has sent to the state attorney general instructing her to conduct this investigation. It calls out Discord, where the suspected shooter posted so many pages of his thoughts and drawings and pictures and plans. She also instructs 4chan and 8chan, two other sites that the suspected shooter posted to, along with Twitch, where the shooting was live streamed, at least for a portion, until the helmet camera ran out of memory. And all of these companies, the governor says, should be investigated. The formal referral is what's needed for the state attorney general under New York law to begin this public safety investigation, and it could result in either a civil lawsuit against the social media companies or a criminal prosecution should the investigators turn up something that runs afoul of the law. The governor said it is time to get incendiary content off the internet. She's going to run up against some free speech matters, and that's been an issue with the social media companies for some time. But this is the beginning of a process now that could, again, lead to a possible criminal prosecution of these social media entities.
Okay, and Bob, New York, when we talk about gun laws, New York has some of the strictest gun laws in the nation. What stood out to you here? Because the governor did mention a number of things, AOW, any other weapon, maybe you can elaborate on that. Also micro-stamping, and also a number of different changes she suggested be made to red flag laws. What stood out to you?
Well, the executive order she's signing, because California has micro-stamping as it is. It's a great idea. We have the ability we have big data science, we can do all these things. But we also have to have, some sense we use our technology. So I like the fact that she's mandating the state police to file these and no longer offer it, but to file it and go forward. But we have to ensure that information is put into national databases, that they can't buy a gun somewhere else. That's a tough hill she has to climb with the magazines, going to a different state or going online. You would be shocked, Kira, if you saw what you can buy online. To take a base gun that she spoke of and then turn around and turn it into a military weapon, which is what he did. And he did so on social media. So many people can see it. Talked about algorithms, a whole lot of things. But and commencing this Homeland Security issue to address this. Some key legislation here going forward. So I look forward to them being done. But again, it has to get done. Someone's got to push it through.
Bernarda, what stood out to you?
What definitely stood out to me is, of course, the definition of AOW, because I'll say this. Remember in the Kyle Rittenhouse trial that towards the end of the trial, they had to dismiss the possession of a weapon count because of the measurements of the firearm. So, yes, that loophole does exist, and a lot of people do avoid prosecution because of that. But also the state troopers being mandated now to go through, follow up with the red flag laws where they have to report it. But my concern there is that here we are in New York City, state troopers aren't the ones that are primarily responsible as law enforcement here in the city. So who are you leaving or making responsible to make these reports in New York City?
So, Bernarda, you and I, well, we've all been talking about this, but Bernarda, you and I in particular, just about the parents. And if we look back at the last mass shooting that took place in Michigan and how the parents knew about issues before with their son and were well aware of what was going on in the household, even were making fun and teasing him about his weapon and his new gun that they even helped him buy. Looking at this situation, you've pointed out very clearly that the parents knew that their son was going through things and was involved in a previous incident. But we didn't hear the governor say anything about holding the parents accountable. Did that surprise you?
I'm not surprised because it's still too soon right now. You see that they're brainstorming of what they can do in such a short amount of time, and also what powers she has, because her powers as governor is through an executive order, and a lot of things need to go through the actual legislature to make it law. So there are a couple hurdles that she has to jump through, but I wouldn't be surprised if that is the next task where they'll put a law or a mandate in place, which to me is a no-brainer, to hold parents accountable once they are aware of what their child is doing, especially in a case like this.
There's definitely a lot to follow up on and to follow as the mayor, or the governor rather, goes forward with these pretty bold ideas to want to make some changes that are much needed, clearly. Aaron Katursky, Bernardo Villalona, also Robert Boyce. Appreciate you all.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.